If you've been following me here on Minus the Gym, you may have seen me doing pistol squats in some of my videos. And lately I've been getting the request for a pistol squat progression video in the comments. So that's what this video is going to be all about. Welcome back to another video, and for those of you new to the channel, my name's Ryan and this is Minus the Gym, where we learn how to be fit and healthy without relying on a gym membership. So don't forget that subscribe button is right down below, and when you click it, make sure you tap that bell icon that appears. That way you get notified every time I upload. Alright, before we jump into the progressions, I just want to mention a couple things. First of all, the pistol squat is what I would consider a more advanced exercise, somewhere around intermediate to advanced. So just keep that in mind. If you're pursuing this exercise and it's giving you trouble, you're one of many people struggling with it, okay? I struggled with it a lot. So don't feel discouraged, just keep at it, and this tutorial should help you. Also, I want to mention that ankle mobility and hip mobility are both very important for the pistol squat. So I want to show you 3 stretches really quick that you should work on along the way during your journey through these progressions, because having this flexibility will be very important for achieving the pistol squat. The first stretch is for ankle mobility, and this is a calf stretch. What I recommend doing is finding like a staircase and using the bottom step, or even a wall can work. Put the ball of your foot up on the staircase or wall, and then your heel should be resting on the floor, and lean your weight forward. And as you lean forward, you should feel a deep stretch in the calf muscle. Now you're going to want to hold that and all the stretches I show you in this video for about 1 minute at a time, and I recommend 2 to 3 sets per day if you can do these stretches daily, okay? Another variation of this calf stretch is to stand on the bottom step of a staircase, and with your heel hanging off the back, just let your heel sink down below the level of the stair. And this way you're letting gravity do the work for you. It's a very passive stretch. This is another good variation of it. Next, we're going to move on to hip mobility. All right, glutes are important too, but what I see the most and what I struggled with the most was hamstring flexibility and the hip flexors. What you want to do for hip flexors is the forward kneeling lunge. You want to get into a single leg kneeling position, and then you want to sort of lunge forward by leaning against that bent forward leg. And as you lean the weight forward, you should feel a deep stretch in your hip flexors. And then for a hamstring stretch, I recommend the standing hamstring stretch. Try to keep your knees as locked out as possible, and then fold forward at the hips, trying to get down and touch your toes, or even touch the floor in front of your toes. Again, make sure you hold these stretches for 60 seconds at a time, doing 2 or 3 sets every day, and you will see gradual improvement in your flexibility. And the mobility will improve as you work through the pistol progressions I'm about to show you. Okay, the first 3 progressions for the pistols are going to be meant for building strength and mobility in a single leg squat. The first one is split squats. What you do here is you raise one foot off the ground and put that leg behind you, resting the foot on a chair or table or any kind of raised platform like that. And then with the forward leg, you simply squat down until your thigh is about parallel to the floor. The back leg can provide assistance while you do this, and that's the beauty of split squats, and it's a good introduction to single leg squats. Build this up to 8 reps and then move on to the next progression. By the way, I recommend building all of these up to 8 reps, okay? That's pretty much the top of the strength building range, and then you're ready for the next progression, so keep that in mind. Also, on all of these, they are unilateral exercises, meaning one side is worked at a time. So make sure you work both legs evenly. The last thing you want to do is build one leg stronger than the other. All right, progression number 2 is the single leg kneeling squat. So what you're going to do is just raise one foot off the floor. And when you do that, you're going to lean your torso slightly forward, putting that foot behind you a little bit for balance, and then lowering down into a single leg squat. But when you get to the bottom, to the end of the negative position, rest your knee on the floor before pressing back up. This exercise forces you to use less assistance, especially in the negative. Also, it helps you build more strength when you're pressing up in that single leg lift, okay? Also, it's going to work a deeper squat, so you're going to be hitting more of the smaller muscles in the hip complex. For progression number 3, we're going to work on elevated single leg squats. And the beauty of these is that you can outstretch the non-weight bearing leg but you don't need it to be straight out in front of you like in a pistol. You can actually have it angled very downwards. So go ahead and just straighten that non-weight bearing leg and perform deep single leg squats on an elevated platform. Make sure you take these slow and you lean forward enough so you don't topple over. Okay, the purpose of these is to get used to deep single leg squats with a straightened non-weight bearing leg, but without having to hold it straight out in front of you. Okay, you've finally built up all this strength and mobility with single leg squat variations, and now it's time for progression number 4, where we start working on assisted pistol squats. Now, with the assisted pistols, you're going to need some sort of anchored pole, or a door frame can work, a fence post, a mailbox. This could be a foundation pole in your house. Anything very sturdy and stable that you can hold on to. And what you're going to do is you're going to hold on to that stable pole and you're going to use it as you lower down into a pistol squat and press back up. Holding onto it for assistance will be especially handy the lower you get in the pistol squat. And what I want to mention is that when I first started doing assisted pistols, I could not do the full range of motion. And that's fine, all right? If you find that to be too difficult, what you want to do is do half range of motion. So you only go down halfway. And then as that gets easy, once you can get 8 reps, then go down 3/4 of the way. And once you can do 8 reps of that, you want to go all the way down into full range of motion assisted pistols. Another tip I want to share with you for assisted pistols is you can use a less stable fixed object to hold on to, okay? One example that's kind of popular is you open a door and hold on to the doorknob because the door can move back and forth, so there's less stability. But what I like using is something like a TRX suspension system or gymnastics rings. And I have gymnastics rings, I don't have TRX, so I love holding onto my rings and performing assisted pistols as well. Having that little bit less stability because of the free range of motion with the suspension, that really helps building your stabilizers and working on these assisted pistols. Okay, now for progression number 5, which is where a lot of pistol tutorials out there are lacking. When I was on this journey, I found that most of the tutorials said, okay, you can do assisted pistols now, just do pistol squats. And I was like, I can't do it though. There was a piece missing. Well, here's the missing piece. Progression number 5 is counterweighted pistol squats. Counterweighted pistols are when you hold an object out in front of you, you hold a weight. And when you hold that weight, what it's doing is it's helping hold your balance as you get deep down into the freestanding pistol squat. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, mobility is really important, especially in the ankles and the hips. So if you find that on your way down in a pistol squat, as you're doing the negative, you're toppling backwards, it's because you need to work on your mobility. And a big part of that is the forward lean to have balance. Holding a counterweight in front of you is going to help you with that balance so you can get deep down into a pistol squat and do it properly. So what you do is you build up to 8 reps in a set, holding that 20 to 25 pounds of counterweight. And then what you do is you decrease the weight a little bit. So this is a very rare occasion in fitness where you want to decrease weight, but you decrease the counterweight by about 5 to 10 pounds at a time, and then build up to 8 reps. Make sure you have the good form as well, and you can get all the way down in your pistol. As you do these and you decrease the weight, you'll get to the point that you can do them without a counterweight. I need to stress the importance of working on your ankle and hip mobility, okay? So do those stretches, improve your flexibility, and you'll get the mobility as you go through these progressions. You know, if you follow me on Minus the Gym, that I like to treat every exercise as a skill, and I feel like I'm always fine-tuning these skills, right? So I'm not perfectly happy with my pistol squat. I feel like it's a never-ending journey. But the information I've shared with you in this video are all the progressions and the stretches that I have used to achieve where I'm at right now with the pistol. If you found it helpful, please help me in return and drop a like, all right? That really helps me out. Maybe share it on Facebook or Reddit or wherever as well. That helps me too. And I look forward to making the next video, all right? I'll see you there.